word got around and now everyone at school is calling me Time Lord. I don't know if I should be proud of knowing how to tell the time, but I guess when you're the new kid, you need to take what you can get. But then my fame reached a whole new level. We were making fudge brownies in home ec, and when I looked in the fridge to see what other ingredients they had, I realized I could whip something that would guarantee me an A in the class. So that's how fudge dogs got introduced to Slacksville Middle School. And even though I felt kind of bad for giving away my old school secret recipe, I figured it didn't really matter anymore. The club thing made me popular, but the fudge dog made me famous. And now all of a sudden I had a ton of new friends in the cafeteria. But the best part was when I started getting a few female admirers, which never happened at my old school. I noticed a couple of girls were whispering about me in the hallway, and then one named Sophie came over and asked a question. And even though I could tell she was just looking for an excuse to talk, I didn't really mind. Can you tell me what my watch says? Things moved pretty fast from there. Sophie and I ate lunch together for the rest of the week, and when she held my hand in the hallway, that made it official. But even though I really enjoyed what the two of us have going on at school, I won't really mean anything until we go on an actual date to the movies or something. Because we're starting to run out of things to talk about at lunch, and there are only so many fudge dogs a person can eat. Saturday, I worked up the nerve to ask Sophie to go out on a date, and she said yes, but since neither one of us can drive, that meant we'd have to get one of our parents to do it. I really didn't want either of my parents driving because I knew they'd totally embarrass me in front of a girl. So Sophie asked her dad to take us to the movie, and he said he would. I waited out in my front yard, and when I saw a car driving slowly down our street, I knew it must be them. And one look at her dad's fancy car told me their family must have a lot of money. I saw the car's license plate before I noticed who was driving it, and that's when I realized it. I'd never asked Sophie's her last name. Sophie never mentioned that her dad was Larry Mac Jr., and if he had, I probably wouldn't have had the courage to ask her out. But now here he was in front of my house, and he didn't look too tall to be there either. You can hop in the back. It turns out Sophie didn't tell her dad what town I lived in before she asked him to pick me up. And that might have actually been on purpose, because from the way he was acting, he didn't seem too thrilled to be in a neighborhood on the other side of the tracks. Gulp. I'd never met someone as famous as Larry Mac Jr., so I was a little nervous. I tried to talk to him about car stuff, but I probably made myself sound dumb. So are those 24-inch chrome rims on your wheels? When we got to the movie theater, he actually came inside with us, and I'm not sure if he really wanted to see the movie or if he was just there to keep an eye on us. After the movie, we went to a place that sells burgers and shakes. I was hoping Sophie's dad would wait in the car, but he followed us in there too. As soon as we sat down, Larry Mac Jr. started grilling me. He wanted to know what kinds of kids I hung out with and what my parents did for a living, and even what kind of car they drove. It was pretty clear he didn't think a person like me was good enough for his daughter. Luckily, I got a break when the waiter came to the table to hand us our menus. It took me a second to recognize him. Iska Octupo Gregorio! It was Mr. Layton, my old Latin teacher. I was a little surprised to see him working in a place like this, but I was just happy to see a friendly face. We got into a conversation and all my Latin came rushing back. After we made small talk about the weather and stuff like that, I placed an order for 3 hamburgers and 3 hot chocolate milkshakes, which really seemed to impress Sophie's dad. Trozo hamburgers. Yeah, si bien. All of a sudden, Mac Jr. started acting totally different toward me. Now he wanted to know about what kind of student I was and if I had any other talents I could share with him. Sophie told her dad I could tell the time using a real clock, which unfortunately didn't seem to impress him as much as I did my classmates at Slackville Middle School. Then she told him that I invented fudge dogs, which did seem to impress him. So for the rest of the night, we just talked about what it takes to run a successful business. I didn't want to get too ahead of myself, but if this thing works out with Sophie, my future might be totally different, and I'd definitely be willing to change my last name if that's what it took to be a part of the family. Tell him Max sent ya. Sophie Mac, Gregory Mac Jr.